Time to wrap it up. Time to wrap it up. Time to wrap it up with T.I.J.
Oh my God, girl. Good job. What is up, everybody? What is cracking?
What's happening?
What's going on, y'all?
Welcome to episode 18.
Is it 18?
Yeah, man. 18
Yes,
of Level Up with Gene and Jay. I'm your host, Jay. This is the boy Gene back in the building like always. And y'all, we are, I mean, words can't even describe how excited we are to be present right now with one of our closest friends of over 20 years. That's Kendrick Richardson is in the building.
AKA Red.
AKA Ready Red.
Red. What else?
Do you have any other nicknames that you ever went with?
We're going to leave it at that.
So, welcome, bro. Welcome on the show.
Thank you for joining us, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
It's an honor, man.
Yeah, bro. Just so y'all give a real quick background, Ready Red, Mr. Kendrick Richardson, has been a very good friend of ours for over 20 plus years. He was in the music rap industry, you know what I'm saying? Midwest representing. We'll talk about that a little bit as we go on, but we did some Midwest music back in the early 2000s. He is also, we all know that we've all been involved in the criminal justice system, you know, off and on. So Red is no angel to that either, you know what I mean? Right. So he was in and out the criminal justice system we'll talk a lot about. And he's also a recovering addict and sober for over a year and a half, is it, bro?
That's right.
Congratulations, man.
I appreciate it.
Big congrats, bro. Yeah. Big congrats. And then now, our brother here is a man of God.
Ambassador of Christ.
That's right.
That's a strong name, bro. I like that. You know what I mean?
All the glory to God, man.
Yeah. So overall, welcome, bro. What we like to do is, do you want to do a formal introduction to everyone to kind of who you are?
Yeah, my name is Kendrick Richardson, for those who don't know. I'm 41 years old. I'll be 42 here soon.
Black don't crack. You look good, brother.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, buddy.
It's just an honor to be here, man. It's an honor to be in this room with you guys. We go way back, man. I love y'all, and thanks for having me here.
Yeah, we kicked up a lot of dust together.
Yeah.
Before we get started, guys, you know, this video might not do anything for you, but it might do something for somebody you know.
Absolutely.
So please share this. Share, like, comment. If you have any questions for Kendrick, please feel free to put it in the comment section.
Please do.
Yes.
Also, I'd like to say Happy Ramadan.
Ooh, Happy Ramadan.
Our Muslim friends out there. I know it's one of the
Shout out to our Muslim friends. Happy Ramadan. Good call, brother.
Yeah, for sure.
So here we are, 20 years in the making. And boy, do we have past to talk about, right?
Yeah.
One of the things I kind of want to just jump right into, bro, is again a huge congratulations to you and your sobriety, bro. We've talked a lot about recovery and sobriety with some, you know, a lot of our guests, and kind of like what we were talking about before the show started, that we want to get more and more into testimonies with people talking about sobriety, normalizing the idea that it is very possible. You know what I mean? And you yourself are a living testament that it is possible. Mm-hmm. So a year and a half, what was that breaking point, bro? Like, if you kind of want to just bring us back a little bit, I guess, you know, what kind of started it?
Well, I will have to say, like, looking back at my tape now, it started with identity issues. You know, growing up, not knowing where I fit in, and you know, and my childhood being taken away from me at a young age. Ooh, I didn't realize the what the responsibility was that my mom was, you know, setting forth for me. I kind of felt like the redheaded stepchild, for say, you know.
Yeah.
And as I got older, you know, I asked her, I said, why did you put all the responsibility on me? I got 4 brothers, and, you know, why me? And she told me, you know, she looked me in my eyes, she said, son, there was something about you that I knew that you'd be able to get it done. And so with that being said, I knew it was God moving. And I
do remember that too, bro.
Yeah, just setting me up for where I'm at today. So yeah, but a lot of trauma, you know, identity issues.
So you felt like there was like a lot of pressure then on you, you know what I mean? And I remember back in the day, like I was saying, that when we used to always hang out, like every time we got in trouble, bro, it fell on Red. It was always Red's fault. You know what I mean? Like, and your mom would take it out more on you, and even Mr. Kane. You know
When
what
did
I mean?
Mr. Kane come into the picture?
He came in the picture. I was 2 or 3 years old, and him and my mom was together ever since. And of course, they got married later on in life. But he did the best he could, man. You know, he did the best he could. He wasn't the greatest. We hated him growing up. Very abusive to us and our mom. And
Like mentally or physically?
Mentally, physically, emotionally. Just broke us down. And that's where a lot of the trauma and stuff starts too.
Do you feel like maybe Kane at all instilled anything in you though? Like, was there anything that?
Self-defense.
That was real as hell, bro.
I gotta keep it real. Self-defense. How to carry ourselves, like far as our appearance, and when we leave the house, make sure we got ourselves together, because there's no telling who we'll meet, who we'll cross paths with.
That makes sense of why you were very defensive back in the day. You know what I mean? Right. Always had your guard up, bro.
Yeah. It was a lot of anger,
trust issues.
Yeah. So, I guess, how to clean,
Right.
You remember we couldn't even come out on Saturday.
Oh my God, dude. Remember when he kicked me out? I wasn't allowed. I wasn't even allowed in the house, y'all. He would let my ass go in the porch. That's as far as I could go. Now you gonna stay right there, Justin. You stay your head right there.
All you can smell is Lysol and bleach coming out the cracks.
Right. Plastic.
Yeah, literally have a white glove on, and and if the walls weren't clean, make us clean it over. But but it did build a foundation for us as a man and stuff we can teach our kids, and so I give them credit for that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And you would say that there's not all bad though, right? Like No,
it wasn't. It wasn't all bad, but it was more bad than good.
Yeah, there you go.
It was more bad than good. Yeah.
At what age do you think you started kicking up a little dust, man, and getting into some mischief?
When I started to rebel, man, would have to be at the age of 14, when I really started to rebel. Y'all remember the incident where I was wrongfully accused of some things, and and I'm not gonna go too much into it, but she's forgiven, but that kind of just I feel like the system turned their back on me, and a lot of people turned their back on me, because of that, and so I think 14 is when I really started to prevail this,
your mind you're still an adolescent, you're still growing at that time, so feeling the weight of that, like a whole city, you know what I mean? Because y'all were well known here, and your family was well known and stuff. So
how did your parents handle that, man? Were they writing you?
No, I had my mother's support. My mother, she was there to support me. My stepfather, he was more so like, you should have been messing with, white folks and stuff like that. And it's like,
in his ruckus voice.
yeah. So, and I was shamed. I was shameful, man. And I was, I got treated differently after that. People started treating me differently. They see me come around, that type of thing, and it was just it was hard for a teenager to go through, and especially with all the pressure that I had on me on top of that. You know what I mean?
So is that about the same age you started drinking then, or did the drinking come later?
Yeah. It was right around that age.
Right around that age.
Yeah.
Probably directly because of those things.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Because again, you're young. You don't know who to really go to, and you're now at this age. You already have trust issues, and now you need an outlet, right? You needed somewhere to you didn't want to think about this. You didn't want to talk about, and a part of that really kind of stemmed from help develop that anger. You know what I mean? You want to talk a little about when Gene's saying once you started, was alcohol, was that your first approach to substance?
Well, weed was.
Weed, okay.
I started smoking weed first. That was in junior high, 8th grade, around that time. I was selling weed and smoking weed around that time.
Yeah, who wasn't, right? Yeah, you know what I mean?
And then after that incident, after I got to high school, we started going to the parties and stuff like that. And you know, it was more of an outlet, man, and because I felt like an outcast. I didn't know why I had all these responsibilities as a kid. I couldn't be a kid. You know, like I see all these other families living normal and happy. You know, eating dinner together.
Yeah,
we eating in separate rooms. You know what I'm saying? Like we was very dysfunctional, and it was just. I can't. I know my mom. She did the best she could,
right?
And you know, with the cards she was dealt. But and looking back at it now, she didn't know any better. You know what I mean? She only repeating what she knew. And I love my mom to death. She worked hard. For 5 boys, and you know, and did her thing. So I'm not
babies raising babies.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. And so it kind of escalated when I got to high school, because now you know. I got friends and brothers I gotta protect, and I feel like I'm a leader in it, you know. And I had to portray this image, this identity that I was terrified. I didn't want to do this, but I felt led to, you know what I mean. And I remember it was a situation where, I don't know if you remember this, Justin, but when I was like, man, I came to your house one day, and I got jumped.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't get jumped. I just said that. You know what I'm saying? And then I didn't think y'all was gonna come, and then I was like, let's go get them.
Right.
And then we get over there, and you know, I just spoke it into existence. Now they there. Now they ready to fight. So I'm like, dang.
Right.
So you know,
when you talk about fighting, let's make it very clear, man. That boy Reddy had hands, bro. Reddy had you probably still got it, but my man had hands. I don't know if part of that had. And I don't know, part of that had to, like, if the bow leg kind of helped you, my man, bow legged his head, that helped with the bounce. But man, seeing you in action, bro, was like intense. It was like watching like a full blown boxing, bro. So
you know, it's things like that, man. Like things like that. Like why did I do that? Why did I create that? I didn't know where I fit in at. I didn't know my position, you know. I didn't know, you know. So it was difficult, man, growing up.
So when we look into fitting in, if you don't mind kind of covering a little bit, gangs, you know, like gang affiliation, that kind of became your life. You know, Traveler, Vice Lord, you know what I mean? Did you feel like you found yourself kind of a family there when you first?
When I pretty much so. And cause they was all there for me. They supported me. It might have been in the wrong ways, but I felt I can trust them. I felt I can go to them. And you know, I wasn't technically initiated into the gang, but I was, you know what I'm saying? You know, that was all I knew. Even you know, even back home in Chicago, most of my family, you know, rode in that area too. So it was just, I was just trying to find a place to fit in, a purpose. You know what I'm saying? And yeah,
that's what's up, dude. And I remember that too, man, because that's where a lot of like kids at that youth age, that's where they find that when they feel lost in society, you know, they find comfort in the gangs. You know what I mean? A lot of times when the people see it, they see it as violence and all that. But within the gang itself, especially if you're in it, you know, there is a sense of security. There is a sense of, you know, camaraderie and family, friendship, you know what I mean? And trust, you know, like you can trust us, you know what I mean? So,
all right. So in your teenage years, you started experimenting with alcohol and weed. Was there any other drugs as a teenager?
As a teenager, no. Alcohol and weed, nope, I take that back. And then as probably about 16, started dabbling in like mushrooms, stuff like that.
The psychedelics.
The psychedelics.
That's medicine, man. Ain't drugs. Cut it out. That's medicine. So when did it come to the point where you are now abusing alcohol, where it wasn't just a weekend thing to turn up?
When once we got into doing our music, you know, and we started hitting the clubs up a lot more, performing, things like that, kind of getting our image together, you know what I'm saying? And that's when things kind of progressed. Started drinking a lot more. I was out more. You know, then started getting into cocaine, selling cocaine, doing cocaine. Ecstasy, you know,
ecstasy
was
a whole
big
summer
deal.
of ecstasy.
Oh yeah. And you know, but when it really hit me, I believe it was like 2007 is when, you know, when my buddies, Justin, Cliff, his brother Cliff, and my brother Kendall, they
Shout out to Cliff and Kendall.
yeah, shout out to y'all, man. And they had an intervention on me, man. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, how's a bunch of alcoholics having an intervention on the alcoholics? So it's like, but
Facts on facts, bro. Oh my God.
So but
As they're sipping on a bottle, like, drinking, God.
Get your shit together.
so it was. At the time, man, I was just they was really concerned, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't see what they saw, you know what I'm saying? But what they seen was anger, you know what I'm saying? Violence, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I carried a lot of weight, man, that I didn't know how to carry.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
I didn't know what I was doing. I
Well-
was doing because I thought I should.
And a lot of those stimulants, basically, they tear down those walls that you hold up, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of shit bleeds out. You know what I mean? Like, people think like I'm doing it to escape, but in all reality, you're just opening Pandora's box.
Right.
There is nothing holding you back. Your judgment's out the window now. So you based off emotion.
Amen.
And especially when we were all that angry back in the day, bro, like it just probably in our day wasn't good for us.
Right.
You know what I mean? So let's get back to that in a little bit because I kind of want to backtrack a little bit because you found your home with it. You had Gangship, then you obviously you had us, growing up. But there was also an outlet you had that even though you were using it time, but you did have your getaway, and that was with music, correct?
Yes.
You were the one who introduced me to freestyling, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you took it and ran with it. Yeah,
You taught me well.
and it's still my outlet to this day. Like,
Yeah.
I love music, but now instead of secular music, it's Christian music.
Yeah,
it's my form of worship, and it does come to me, man. Like I can just escape.
Yeah.
You know how music do us, man. Like, I need it.
Yeah.
I need it. It's part of me. So
And working with you, man, I remember because we used to be in our studio, we'd be drinking, smoking, you know what I mean, and whatever kind of else stuff would come into the studio. But like it was our getaway. It was like where we were going to, like release all that anger we had. We found an outlet to put it on the page, dude. And I feel like if we didn't have that music, where would that have brought us? Like, where would we have been when you're built up in that much anger and had no outlet? You know what I mean? You were just angry.
yes, sir.
It was so much fun, man. Like hitting up the Blue Nile,
Yeah,
Red Sea.
yeah.
We're out there mobbing deep. Just having a great time,
Yeah, man. Big shout out.
what was it?
Steak knife.
Steak
Yeah.
knife.
Yeah.
Yep.
Big
Big
shout
times.
out to Gene for that one night when we was it the Blue Nile when we were downstairs and like they had open mic night.
That was at Congo.
Was it Congo?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we were downstairs, y'all, and like it was open mic night and stuff, and we were there and we were going to perform that night, and then they were setting up. So they're letting people just hop on stage, freestyling and stuff. And we're just kind of laid back, just watching and everything. Gene over here like, hey, man, y'all should go on up there. And we're like, nah, man, we got our show coming up and stuff. He's like, but they're going up there. Why don't y'all? This is what you're here for.
Yeah.
So go up there. So, and sure enough.
hype, man.
Yep,
Yep,
sure
that was
enough,
some
bro.
fun times,
Sure
man.
enough, we got it, and we ended up going up there, dude.
Yeah.
So I was pretty excited about that.
So, all right. So in your 20s, drug deal gone wrong.
Yeah.
Ready Red gets stabbed in the back.
Yeah.
Almost dies.
Yes.
Did you have any kind of spiritual awakening at that time?
I did. First of all, I deserved it. I didn't deserve it, but I put myself in that position. I was trying to rob somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it turns out, I got stabbed for it, but yeah, I did have a spiritual awakening.
That was a scary time, man.
That was the start of it. As I was fighting these two men, I'm getting up the best of them. Y'all, like you said, I had some hands, but
Chicago hands, boy.
Yep.
and all of a sudden, I just feel this warm liquid running down my back, and then I started to feel faint. And,
So you didn't feel the pain at first.
I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it at all. I didn't feel it at all. Adrenaline, and then I had a thick leather jacket on, which probably saved my life.
Right.
And because inches away from hitting my lung cavity.
Yep.
But luckily, I was right outside, of my twin brother's apartment.
Yeah.
And somebody seen me in the apartment, seen me outside laying on the ground. They was like, "You need to get in." I was like, "Yeah." And so, but when I got into my brother's apartment, he's terrified.
Yeah.
He probably still traumatized by it because there's so much blood everywhere.
Yeah, dude.
And he was trying to stop the blood. I'm like, look, stop because it was painful, and I kind of made my peace with God. I was like, Lord, I just knew it was my time.
So you were falling into acceptance.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
damn.
absolutely, absolutely. I repented for my sins. I was asking for forgiveness. I seen the light. I seen my life flash before me. Like I just seen my whole life just flash before me, and I really thought that it was it.
Would you say that was the closest you've ever been to death, at least back then? Up to that event, was that the closest you feel like?
Yeah. That and another time after that.
Yeah,
that and another time after that. Actually before, but we can get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
But
so you were brought to the hospital, right?
Yeah, I was brought to the hospital. That whatever they did that had me in.
Hold on. Before we go to the hospital, you said you're going in and out. You're seeing the light.
Yeah.
So this is why you're laying on your brother's couch
on the floor. On the floor. Yeah.
And did somebody talk to you? Did you see God or?
I just seen my life flashing before my eyes.
Okay.
Like it was, in the movies, when people fainting out and
that's a real thing.
Yeah, it's a real thing. It's definitely a real thing. And then all of a sudden it just got real bright. The next thing you know, I'm assuming I fainted, passed out. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, I was at the hospital. It was a clean cut, in and out, which was a miracle itself, and it was inches away from hitting my lung cavity.
It was a butcher knife, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And that was scary, man. When
Butcher
we got
knife?
that call.
Yeah.
You remember that? We got that call.
Yeah,
we
dude.
had to go to the hospital and visit. And
That was scary, man. Because remember, they wouldn't even let us up there.
we did get in there at some point.
Well, I think like when that night when we first got there, Kendall met us outside, and he said that your mom was up there, your brother was up. No, your brother was with us. Baby J was with us.
The mother of my kids was up there.
Yeah, and he was freaking out, and it was a lot, man. I mean, it was scary times, dude.
Yeah, and then they was investigating too, so that's why they wasn't letting people up at that time.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah,
But that wasn't your aha moment. You kept
No,
on going with your life.
that I built up more anger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was more aware and more cautious of how I did things, but it was definitely it wasn't my aha moment,
Right.
But it definitely added to the things I was going through.
and you said it built up your anger. So, like, elaborate a little bit more. You're saying like your trust factor is even lower now.
Yeah.
You're angry at society.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of?
just anger, like anger at myself, angry at my brother who set the situation up. Just angry about how it went wrong. It shouldn't have went that way.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying. And more mad at myself. It was right around Christmas time. It was time. We were trying to do.
Yeah.
And so. And I was angry. Who did it? I wanted to,
right.
But
Understandable.
yeah.
Okay, so let's move on from that. And then
Well, you got like what you get out of the hospital. You said you're still filled with rage and anger. You get better as far as physically, right? But mentally, you still fighting.
Mentally, I'm still fighting. My drinking got worse.
Yeah.
Got heavier. It got worse. Then I started getting DWIs shortly after that.
Yeah.
I got domestic after that.
Do you want to kind of elaborate on those at all? Like, were they just like quick pullovers or?
Well, the first DWI I got was because my mom didn't want to drive, and so I kind of took the fall for that.
Yeah.
And I didn't. The moment I pulled out of the gas station, they pulled me over, so
yeah.
I had no chance with that. And so I was kind of upset with the system, at that point too, And
yeah.
It was just, man, like it seemed like everything after that was just starting to go bad, man. You know what I'm saying?
Like Tupac said, "Me against the world." It felt like for you.
I literally felt like that.
So did you end up having any like big time hung over your head at some point?
No, later on.
Okay.
Later on, this was 2017. So
yeah,
I can catch up to that once y'all ready. But
one thing that I kind of want to bring up, and it might backtrack us a little bit. First of all, big shout out to our boy Rob G.
Yes,
rest in peace to Rob G, and bless his family and everything.
Yes.
Rob G was definitely I knew him and stuff, but he was very close with y'all. You know what I mean? Like I met Rob G through y'all and stuff, and like I was telling Gene, that's where I got Jay Bonches from. That's what Rob used to always say, Jay Bonches. But dude, the call. You know what I mean? We were at the crib that night, downstairs drinking, working on some music, and then we get that fucking phone call, and I don't think I've ever seen you in that much pain before, dude. Yeah. Do you feel like that alone was a huge...
That was hard. That was hard.
Breaking point that also kind of pushed you towards,
absolutely.
Isolation and drugs. And
Absolutely.
Yeah, you want to talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, absolutely, man. That was very hard, and I don't even speak much about it, man. But I got him near and dear to my heart, and I know he's like an angel, watching over me, man. And I think about him every day, man.
Yeah.
When a day go by, I don't think about him.
And I think one of your hardest things was, I remember you back in the day saying, like, because he was a good person.
He was.
It's not that we weren't, we were lost, but you really held on that. Like, he was a good person. Why couldn't this happen to, like, me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had a lot going on. Why couldn't this be me? You know what I mean? And do you think part of that guilt, like that self-guilt, like kind of really pushed you in that
Absolutely.
negative direction?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I kind of felt like, I don't know. I could have felt like I could have spend more time with him. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I felt like it should have been me.
Mm-hmm.
Why him? He's the kindest man I ever met, man. Like,
funny.
He's a gentle giant, man.
Y'all always had the battles with the dress, like who can dress the best.
He taught me how to dress, man. Like, like that was my buddy, man. Like, I looked up to him, man.
Mm-hmm.
And he just had an infectious smile. He's stayed smiling, then nothing bothered him. Nothing bothered him, man. I'm just like, God, like, why take him?
Yeah.
But once after a couple of years, I knew that I don't know
that it was.
Excuse me.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
I just after a couple of years, I kind of came to peace with it. Like, I knew he's in a better place, and I kind of understood why. So.
Yeah,
it's
rest in peace to our boy Rob G,
rest in
man.
Peace, Rob, man. We love you forever.
Absolutely, bro. And I wanted to bring that up because I know he did mean a lot to you, and there was kind of a dark cloud over you for a while, and you did find, like you said, you found your escape. Yeah. You were looking deeper and deeper in your escape, and when Gene was bringing up, like, as far as drugs go, like, it just kept getting worse for you, right? Like, you want to kind of go over that? Like,
yeah, I mean, like, then I had plenty of deaths in my family. My cousin got killed by my other cousin, and that was traumatizing. Yeah. I've seen a lot of death at a young age, man.
Right.
And it was just like, I didn't see no hope in anything in life, especially, and it was just like, my mom getting beaten, abused, our family was dysfunctional. We didn't do family things. What I thought was, normal, and it was just hard, man. It was hard. I didn't understand it, but I think I understand now,
Right, and that's the lovely thing. It's almost like a generational curse.
That's exactly what it is.
A generational curse, because our parents didn't learn from their parents how to do it right. You know what I mean? So now we got to take this opportunity to not do what we didn't like our parents doing to us.
Right.
We got to be better than them.
Yes.
Teach our kids the right way, so therefore they could teach their kids a better way. Yeah. And one day we'll need to be.
Absolutely.
But it takes time.
It takes time. It takes time.
It takes time.
And it's like God don't put anything on us. Y'all heard the saying. It's kind of cliches, but He ain't gonna put nothing on you that you can't handle. But it's like He'll allow us to go through it, though. You know what I mean? He don't put it on us, but He'll allow us to go through it. And if he bring you to it, He'll get you through it, man.
I was thinking in the shower today, man. I was like, I believe in God. You know what I mean? But I'm wondering, like, why doesn't God reveal Himself to us at an early age?
Yeah.
Imagine if He revealed Himself when you were 12 years old.
Yeah.
Came out, revealed Himself. Like, life would be a lot different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He has to some people,
Do you think He does reveal Himself, but we just don't see it?
Yeah. I mean, I believe it's a process. I believe there's things that we have to go through, in order to seek Him. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just a part of it. We'll never understand it, but it's just a part of it. And I feel like all the things I went through in my life, and that I felt like why me, and how can you allow this and this and this and that. he was behind it. He's behind the scenes working it out for his good, and I believe it was just training ground just to build me up to where I'm at today.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like if he revealed himself to everybody, how would this world be? You know what I mean? It's just a part of it. It ain't for us to understand. It's just because if we try to understand, we'll trick ourselves up, right?
Right.
You know, so and that's what I'm learning now, and you know, in the leadership school, and you know, theology and stuff. So it's a lot to it, man.
And so you've been sober for a year and a half.
Yeah.
Wow,
ups.
dude.
Kudos
Again,
to
big
you,
ups
man.
to you, bro.
Yeah.
You look good, man.
You do. You look very
healthy,
good,
brother.
You look healthy,
Happy.
you know, smiling and stuff. You know what I mean? And so you basically have been through it. You've been through hell and back, and now you're on this mission right now. And part of that mission involved some mobility van or vehicle you were trying to obtain. What were you planning on doing with this vehicle?
Well, since I've been in Teen Challenge, y'all know I've been cutting hair for over 20 years, you know. But since I've been in Teen Challenge, God been putting it on my heart to do something with this gift.
Yeah.
You know, and I got a real compassionate heart for the generation, upcoming generation, man, that's out here, that's resorting to gangs and you know, looking for love in all the wrong places, you know,
Facts.
sexual sin and just being in relationships that, you know, that type of thing, and just resorting to the streets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I want to reach back and help these people, man, and that don't have no sense of direction, or like no one cares, feeling the unworthiness. You know, I like the same way I felt. You know what I mean? And if I had somebody that could have came alongside of me at that time, my life would be different.
Yeah. Right.
But like I said, I had to go through that stuff in order to do what I'm finna do now.
Preach, brother.
You know what I'm saying? And so I want to start this outreach, mobile barber ministry. And another thing that a lot of people don't know is, you know, I was addicted to meth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was addicted to meth, man.
Wow.
I got started doing meth probably around 2014, 2015, something like that. And, you know, at first it was just, you know, here and there, once a month type of thing, you know what I'm saying? And then it got to become more because, you know, I was, you know, on probation for DWIs and drinking.
Yeah.
So I figured, I traded drinking in for doing meth.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? I just went into this dark place, man. You know, then my twin brother, he tried to commit suicide. You know, that was tough. It just like everything just came falling down, man.
Yeah. And it's crazy too, because honestly, bro, you're the first black man I've ever heard that talked about struggles with meth. You know, meth isn't really something you hear about in the black communities. You know what I mean?
It's an epidemic now.
Yeah, you know, we were flooded with crack for so long, you know what I mean? And now here comes meth and fentanyl. Like, it's a real thing, dude. Like, if you don't mind me asking, what's the feeling of that? Like, what got you into it?
It's like ecstasy times 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like ecstasy times 1,000.
No wonder it's so addicting.
Yeah. It's cheap too. It's very cheap, and it's addicting, man. You know? Yeah. And you know, it kind of, you know, I like stimulus. I like uppers. You know.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like stuff that's gonna have me slumped and stuff like that. And so, but and then it's a mind drug. You know, it's the devil drug, really.
Yeah.
And because it tricks on you to make you believe that you're okay when you're not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You'll see people just tripping out, face twisted all up, and in their mind, they're doing normal stuff.
Yeah.
Right. But on the outside looking in, they look ridiculous. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then eventually, you know, it's torment. You know, it's start to torment you. You start, you know, seeing things that ain't there. You know, as people say, shadow people, and it really play tricks on your mind. You know, it have people like, we could be sitting here right now, and I could think that you looking at me crazy,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, really looking at me crazy, and or just said something to me off the wall.
Yeah. And
it's crazy, man. Like, I don't wish that on nobody.
Yeah.
And when I gave my life to Christ, you know, I relapsed again, and then you know, I was trying to battle this on my own, man.
Was the relapse back on to meth too, or was it just everything?
Yeah, everything, but meth more importantly. You know what I'm saying? And it just and nobody knew, because I stayed away.
Right.
I stayed away, man, and I was shameful. I was guilty. This is the first time I ever admitted it. I especially outwardly like this. You know what I'm saying?
Well, thank you. I mean, for one, bro, for even just being willing to share that on our podcast, bro. I know that's very personal to a lot of people and stuff, but that is also part of the recovery process, right? You know, you got to put it all out there, and like you said earlier, to see it from a different perspective. You know, you're seeing yourself from the outside, finally looking in. You know what I mean? So I commend you, bro. Big ups to you, man.
Thank you, man.
What about like as far as like when it came to drugs, did you ever OD? Did you ever have to go to the hospital for any of that?
I think I OD'd one time, but I never went to the hospital. I kind of just like dealt with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I know I've had alcohol poisoning before. From drinking too much.
Ain't that the truth? I've been down that road.
You know, but yeah, man, it's been a journey, man.
Well, again, man, I mean, it's incredible because a lot of people don't make it out of that. You know what I mean? There are people like right now still struggling, you know, with it. Yeah. And the relapse is real, you know, and a lot of times people stay relapsed because they beat themselves up so hard about it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm never going to get clean, you know? And like you said, how many times were you in treatment?
I've been in treatment over 15 times.
15 times, bro.
Yeah, since high school.
And that's living proof right there, bro. Yeah. Like, you keep fighting the good fight, you know what I mean? And eventually you're gonna succeed and you're gonna persevere. You know what I mean? Yeah. So part of that as well that I want to kind of go over is who's that? Oh, snaps! Is that Brady in the building? Yes, Brady, sir. Hold on. Let me make sure he can get through here. Hold on, y'all.
What's up, boy? He popped in.
Let me slide over here. Crash the party.
It's all good. Come on in.
Step over here and that'll be your chair. Right? Surprise.
Yeah. Here, let me back turn the camera a little bit for you.
Hey, man.
Let's go back this camera up a little bit. Wow. Brady Pask in the building. Hold on.
Special guest in the building. Ready Red didn't even know that Brady's gonna come.
Brady's in the building. Here, let's see. Make sure you can hear yourself.
Oh yeah, that's right. I gotta lean in.
Let's see. Put that up there, and then go ahead and give a sound check.
Hey, check.
Check. Hold on. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm not hearing him too well.
Let's see. Boom.
Check.
Let's see. We'll try to hook this up. Try it again.
Check. Yeah, it's super loud.
Let's see.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? Here, hold on. I got you down there. Here. Gino, check to make sure his mic is plugged in there.
I don't mean to crash the party.
Oh, you good, brother? Hey, you good?
Talk in again.
Check.
Let's see. So we are hitting some technical difficulties with that. Y'all just kind of stand by for a sec. Testing.
Test.
So I'm wondering here. Let me see your mic.
You want me to pull it out or?
Yeah. And right now, what we were talking about, y'all just Red was talking about. You were in 15 treatment centers, correct?
Yeah.
Wow, dude, 15. Was any of them like? Did you have one that you feel like was really helpful to you?
Yeah, it was one in particular which was in Kentucky, and they touched bases on more of the trauma part of it, which is not talked about a lot in a lot of treatment centers, you know. And so that was a big deal. I think I learned the most out of treatment there before I came to Teen Challenge that I ever learned in any other treatment. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But it was where, when I went to Teen Challenge, is where, it's where I found victory.
Found victory. I like that.
Yeah, and
that was a big victory lap you made.
Yes.
Oh wow, dude.
And that's because our Lord Jesus Christ, man. He set me free. From that, and I couldn't have done it without him.
Well, what's even crazy, like what we talked about before, dude, is like, especially us back in the day, we felt like the world was against us.
I'm here.
Yeah. Mic check. What up, Brady? What up, Brady?
Yes.
He's in there.
Mic check. Brady is in the building, in the house. Welcome, man.
We gotta share?
No, don't worry about it.
So we'll be bouncing whenever you do want to chime in, just grab it. Usually, y'all, our mics are working. What I'm assuming right now is because turning a new mic on while we're recording might have canceled that out. So we'll just kind of. But Brady, welcome, bro. Like, you know. So Brady's here, y'all, because Brady called me last night and he let me know that him and Red were talking and y'all saw each other. You were you at his congressional or is that what you say? Is it?
Yeah, every Thursday night we do chain breakers.
Okay.
So every Thursday night in Golden Valley at 6:30 we do chain breakers, and I saw Kendrick in his story. And I hit him up, and I'm just, there's nothing more powerful than victory, breaking chains. Yes. And so I hit him up to come share with us.
That's what's up, bro. Yeah. And one of the reasons why Brady's here, y'all, is because we were just talking about earlier with your mobility van, what you wanted to do. Tell us what happened with that GoFundMe, bro.
Yeah, so probably like 4 days after I set it up, someone hacked into the account and wiped out all the money, man. And so yeah, and after that happened, I was kind of like, okay, God, what's going on here? What am I supposed to learn? What's the learning this? And I mean, the timing couldn't have been better, man, because Brady had reached out to me and he was like, I seen what went on with it, man. But he wanted me to come share, and I was honored to do that, and stepping out on faith and doing so. And when I went there, man, they blessed me, man, and they raised the $300 that was taken.
Wow, dude! Yeah, wow,
so
man.
That was a big deal, man. God is He's all over this, man. And
is that what they mean by God works in mysterious ways?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and pieced it together too, because my mentor, and somebody that Kendrick knows, called my mentor that day, who runs Chain Breakers, and was like, "Hey, I met you a year ago at the state fair, and then you put an egress window in for me, and I'm bringing Kendrick tonight."
Yeah.
And so there's a connection there, and that's I mean, it all works in mysterious ways.
Yeah, man. So then somebody hacks your joint.
Yeah.
And someone takes that from you, and then y'all hook up with each other. Divine intervention is happening, you know what I mean? Absolutely. And God comes in play.
Yes.
And how much are we talking here? Like, you lost? How much did you lose?
$600.
Jeez, dude.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, man.
I mean, it's not a bunch of money, but at the same time, for a cause that that I was trying to do, or that I am going to do, for somebody to just take from that, but at the same time, I knew it's the enemy. The enemy don't want this to happen. You know what I mean? So yeah, God said no.
Right. So that night, Kendrick shared his story, shared that the money got took. My mentor, he's an amazing dude. He got up and shared and asked Kendrick, how much, God already put a number on my head, but how much money did you lose? Mm-hmm. And Kendrick said 600, and he said, all right, well, Chain Breakers is already going to give you half that back. Right. He's like, we give money in a basket, donate, whatever's not there, we're going to make up the difference, and we're going to bless you with half that.
Amen.
Well, my bro, you want me to tell you what happened? Like I said, I went on a retreat, and I think it all worked out perfectly, because the fact that you were coming on here, and not for any more glory, but the glory for God, bro.
Yeah.
Dude. You ready for this? In straight true St. Louis Park fashion style.
Oh snap! Rubber band man.
$650. What? $650, homie. On behalf of Chain Breakers, bro.
Hey man.
All of it back, and then some.
Praise God.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wow.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what's up.
So yeah, they came and then some. And I was so excited to tell you, I couldn't contain it. I couldn't sleep last night. I said,
amazing.
Brady hits me up and stuff, and I'm like,
he's watching the movie.
I'm
with
watching
the fam.
the movie with the kids and stuff, and I'm like, oh snaps, can I call you back out? He goes, absolutely. So I call him after the film, and he's like, bro, he's like giddy. He's just like, man, how are you? Yeah, man, we knew about this. You know what I'm saying? He was super giddy about it, man. He's just like, Justin, I just want to let you know, like, he kind of told us what we talked about in our pre-meeting, and he brings up that he was like, dude, I have all this going on, this is what happened, and just brought all the news to me. He was like, dude, I want to surprise Red with this on the show. I think that would be great. So
why not?
That's amazing.
Why not?
Wow, dude, that's wild.
Oh my goodness, man.
So how much money do you
Here,
need?
if you want to hand him the mic real quick.
Yeah.
How much money do you need for
for the van? It was $3,500 just for the van itself.
Right.
But of course, we're gonna have to do some work on it, remodeling inside and stuff like that. So I mean, I would say $5,000 just for starters.
$5,000.
Yeah.
So you will be starting up a new GoFundMe, right?
Yeah.
And so we're gonna need help spreading the word so Red could get this
Absolutely.
bus, get it transformed. But we're also like, if people have skills in a certain area,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
if, he could use some help getting this built up. And
Yeah, absolutely. So like what we're talking about, what Gene's saying is that not only does he need the mobility van, y'all, he needs also what's inside of it. You know what I mean? He's going to need, if y'all are the barbershops, he's going to need a barber chair, correct?
Yeah.
So you got barbershops that are willing to release like some of their equipment or stuff y'all use. Gene and I were talking and we both agreed that we are willing to, if any company that wants to help out Red with building his mobility, Gene and I, Level Up with Gina J, are willing to give y'all a 5-minute promo video.
Yes,
we will
sir.
come to your establishment, let you talk about your business and everything like that, absolutely free. All we ask is that you donate something towards Red or Kendrick and his ministry as far as trying to get this mobility van up. This is about creating bridges and bringing people together and showing the strength behind communities. You know what I mean?
Man.
yeah.
Hallelujah.
Do you have a plan as far as a business plan and everything?
Well, as far as, what do you mean?
So once you have this mini bus and you transform it into a mobile barber shop,
My plan is to do like outreach. So I will hit up the inner cities, communities at like events, maybe like Juneteenth or
Right.
Taste of Minnesota, or anything like that, and just set up shop, man, and help cut some kids' hair, and give them, preach the gospel, and what I'm saying, try to
Right.
encourage them and speak life into them, man, and just
That's
show them that they love, man.
Basically being what we needed back in the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
It's a haircut that could change a life, because like he shared at Chainbreakers the other night that once he's in the chair, he's got him right where he wants him.
Exactly.
He ain't
Yeah,
going
dude.
nowhere for a few minutes.
Amen.
So,
Hey, Brady, man, thank you so much, man, for the phone call. Thank you so much for doing what you
Man,
did.
for real.
You
thanks
know,
for letting me crash the party. I
talk
appreciate
about
it.
amazing, man. And one thing I
He
just,
crashed the party. He crashed the party.
Amen.
if you don't mind, real quick, Brady, if you don't mind, like you got into the Lord.
Yeah.
And from what we heard, just so everybody knows, this is one of the old school homies too. We know Brady for 20 plus years too.
Yes.
We go all the way back to kicking it in his basement, my basement, out in the streets, doing what we did. We had our line of dirt that we did too, and everything like that. Brady plays a very important part in our lives just as well.
That's right.
My man going from where he was to where he is now, bro, is nothing short than amazing either, bro. So big shout out to you, fam.
Right on. Appreciate it.
And so, like, really quick, how did you get into the Lord? Like, what got you real quick? Like,
I mean, straight up is death. I got hooked up with a good friend who started working with me at the shop, and his dad started going through pancreatic cancer, and watching him go through that, watching him, walk with his dad from diagnosis to death, because pancreatic cancer takes you quick. In the meantime, God was chipping away at him what I now know was going on, and he was trying to invite me.
Yeah.
And he kind of backdoor invited my who's now my wife, but my girlfriend at the time. He was like, "Yeah, you should really come today," and I was like, "Nah, I'm good."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Well, Sarah said she'd come." So, so then I got invited, and
Yeah.
and actually the pastor ended up just telling a story about, how his dog that he put down, that he had for his whole life. And if you remember China, the dog that I had,
Yes.
she walked with me for 16 years through, hustling, through drunken, passed out nights, through
Yep.
getting my ass whooped and,
Yep.
getting, whatever. So just seeing how God's love's in resemblance, when you come home, they're overabounding love to you. You can be gone for 10 seconds and they're just so happy to see you. And that's how God feels
Yeah.
about you,
Amen.
Amen, brother. Amen.
About
Yeah.
that word.
And so it
About
really
that
just
word.
really connected me, and with my now wife at the time, I just look back like I was living this whole time for myself and destruction. I was a party animal. Like I never really, I just
Yeah.
like to have fun, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Champagne Supernova.
Yeah,
in the basement
man,
of my
that
mom's
was our
house. Just-
jam, bro. Like,
Yeah.
what a performance I gave for those.
Yes, you
like,
did.
that's still a memory. One of these days, I'll bless you with such a performance, but it was magical. It was one of those you had to be there to see it kind of things. You know what I mean? Gene, if you don't mind switching the mic over to my co-host, Gino. So you and I are really, you can move your notebook actually. That'll probably help better.
Thank you, sir.
So you and I are dedicated. You know, Gina and I have really been pushing really hard to lift this podcast off the ground.
Yes.
Not just so people can hear us talk and stuff, but really to make a difference, you know, and that's what's important. And it's episodes like this, Gene. Wouldn't you agree that really makes this job worth doing?
I agree, man. Like, I'm leveling up every time I have a guest on, and having you on, man, is helping us level up and other people level up.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we want to do this full time, man. Like,
Yeah.
it'd be amazing just to be helpful. And that's my. What do you do? I'm a helpful person. Wouldn't that be awesome,
Yeah,
man?
absolutely.
Yeah, dude. And part of what we do, like we said, like Gene said at the very beginning of this podcast, y'all, we're not playing. Please like, share, and comment as much as possible. You know what I mean? Like, we try not to be as bitter as a lot of people do get when they don't get as much traction, but I feel like we put in a lot of work for this. This isn't just a typical podcast. You know, we put in hours and hours of our time in post-production. We put in hours and hours of setting up our interviews, getting the research done, getting everything together. So all we ask out of return from our hours of work is seconds of your time to share this.
That's
if you
it.
know Reddy, share it. You know Brady, share it. You know Gene, share it.
I liked it on my wife's phone last night. I said, "You're subscribed now."
Hey, see, that's what I'm talking about.
right.
For all the hubbies out there, boyfriends, y'all grab your wife's phone and
Hit the button, man. Hit the
just
button.
subscribe
It's
to us,
for a
y'all.
good cause, man. It's for a good. This is a good cause. It's
Yeah.
a good thing going on.
And so, like, when you say we get it, we get you up, we're upper mobile. What is your plan with it? Like, you want to drive around, you want to give out these haircuts, you want to preach the word,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then what else? What else? Just kind of.
Exactly that. And
Yeah.
then whatever the Lord take me after that. You know what I mean?
I love that, man. And we talked a lot about earlier. For one, I just want to say, before Red got on, said he was nervous. And honestly, bro, I haven't seen one nervous bone in your body since the interview started. Would you say, Gene?
No.
That's the Holy Spirit.
You've been handling this very well. So, like, I know that you say you're nervous about that, but I just want people to know, like, if you're ever, would you ever be open to speaking anywhere else besides, like, you know, like how you did here, sharing your story anywhere else?
Absolutely. I'm all for it, man.
That's what's up.
I'm sure you probably didn't get to cover some of the things you want to.
Yeah.
While we have some more time, is there some things you want to cover, man? I know you had maybe some passages that you wanted to speak on.
Let me see.
While Reddy's getting prepared, again, y'all, make sure we're liking, we're sharing, we're commenting on these videos. Catch Gene and I on Facebook at Level Up with Gene and Jay. Find us on YouTube at Level Up with Gene and Jay. We are also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. This episode will be released tomorrow on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. The video itself will be released later in the week. But just again, we just want to make sure y'all know y'all are aware of that. So what you got for us, Reddy?
Yeah, I got 2 Corinthians 5:17. Therefore, if anyone in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has passed away. Behold, the new has come.
Ooh.
You know, and with that being said, it's like, please don't hold me for my past, man, for what I did. Don't define me who I am today. And that's pretty much.
And that's how it resonates with you, huh?
Yes, sir.
Wow, dude, that is deep.
Yeah.
I always wonder too, like when I read the Bible and I try every once in a while, like I get lost in translation, man, like all the ye's and yays and all that stuff. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, like, you know, a lot of it does, but people I've talked to, what I've learned is that it's not just like reading the Bible, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, reading the Bible for what it is. It literally is translation. It's self-translation. You take what's written and you apply it to your life, and, you know, you speak on it through your experience. Is that kind of true in its own way? Would you say?
Yeah.
Like, it, you know what I mean? Like, did that come off confusing at all?
No,
like, you
no,
know,
not
like,
at all. No, it's God's word.
Yeah,
Right?
you
And
can
it's
pull it closer to you.
and it's applicable to everybody's life.
Yeah.
right? I heard a guy tell me once, you know, he's got, you know, young kids getting ready to go into college and stuff, and he says, I don't ever tell them what to do or how to live their life, but when they come and ask me, I bring them to God's word, and that, hey, there's a story for everything that every person's going through.
Yeah.
And it applies.
And I appreciate it for both of y'all too, because even during this interview and even times when I've talked to you throughout the last few years on the phone and stuff, never been pressured from y'all at all either. You know, like you always say, the door's always open if you ever want to come. So, you know, y'all are living proof that the people aren't out there trying to push the Bible and the Lord down people's throats or nothing. They're literally just trying to let you know this is what helped me.
Yeah.
So come on over and take a look yourself if you want to. So I appreciate y'all for that and everything.
Absolutely, man.
That was my biggest turnoff. That's what I try to tell people. Like, I got buddies in my group that are track bombers. We call them track bombers, where they talk to you and you feel like it's intentional, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're like, well, here, read this. And I'm like, that just skirted the whole conversation, bro. So, yeah, that was my turnoff, and that's why I love, man. I just love people. Love everybody.
I love that, man. And for you, Red, again, man, like, words cannot express the amount of happiness like both Gene and I have for you, bro. Like,
Indeed.
We know how crazy our group was, our whole clique was, especially you and I. You know what I mean? Like, there was a reason why Midwest was the shit back then. You know, we were basically the local outcasts. You know what I mean? But between you and I, like, your anger, my mental health, we were in the darkest parts of our lives and stuff, and we shared a lot of that darkness together. So I know when I say it, like, I envy you. I love you. I think it's amazing what you're doing, dude. And for you to come out of that darkness, I hope people, when they watch this, they understand that it is truly possible. You know, he is a living testament. 15 treatments, a year and a half of sobriety, relapsed a few times, almost died on multiple occasions. We have burnt bridges before. We have lost people in our lives before, and still we're able to come back, dude. So
and now you're
all
getting your
praise to you, man.
certificate to be a pastor.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. And kudos, man. Big ups.
Yes, sir.
So what we're going to do is we will put all the information for the GoFundMe in the description.
Yep. It'll be right there in the description. And I know we probably didn't even cover that because you said, is the GoFundMe still up then?
It's still up.
But you're thinking of revamping it to something else. Okay.
Yeah.
So like Gene's saying, y'all, the description for the new GoFundMe or however we get it going will be in the description. And please pay attention to our pages, our socials, as well as Red's and even Brady's too. You know what I mean? Because we're going to, for details and what's going to be coming out, Red will come out with a list of things that he might need. Yeah. Again, y'all, this is about communities coming together.
It takes a village,
you know
guys.
What I mean?
Right.
And
we need
again,
our village.
And if you were just like, you went to the bathroom or something when we said, like we'll say it one more time, Gene and Jay are willing to bring our podcast to your business, to your place of organization, whatever it is, whoever's donating to help this mobility become a reality for Ready Red. We are willing to come over, like say, like we said, with barbershops, say we have some, like as far as mechanics that want to help out, try to, you know, fix up the vehicle itself. We are willing to come to your establishment and give you a 5-minute promo to talk about your business, talk about what you're doing, and show that you're a part of the community too. So this is us hooking y'all up for hooking us up. You know what I mean? That's right. So that's big ups to you. And Brady, I mean, I know you a mechanic yourself, right? So
well, you know, I hung up. I turned in my wrenches. I'm a service advisor.
You still got that knowledge, though, right? You still got that knowledge. That's what's up. So again, like Gene said, keep going, like the description and everything. So
I think that's all I have. Yeah, that's all I had.
Okay.
Yeah. If you can support, donate, please. If not, just share, like.
Yeah. I mean, hold that wad. Like, look at that. That is proof.
Rubber band,
support.
man.
Like, that's what that happens, dude. It happens so quickly.
And it was 600. And then I was telling somebody the story on the way here, and she gave me 50. And she said, "Hey, we're talking about level up." She said, "You gotta level it up."
Wow.
God is good.
Yeah, and expect like
$2 talking about it,
right? You know, so y'all, like we said, I mean, Gene did bring up Red. I mean, like we always talk about, we're already at 58 minutes, and like we said earlier, like we could go on and on. So we definitely want to have you back on the show. Absolutely. Brady, we definitely want to have you on the show, not just a pop-up wonderful guest. You know, we want to be able to take some time to let the viewers get to know you and your story as well.
Yes, sir.
And then, like we said, y'all, the video will be out later this week. We'll get Red back on to kind of cover a lot more. We'll let y'all kind of talk about it. What are some things you want to hear more from Red? What are some things you want to hear from us? Or did you want us to cover? Red did talk a lot about testimonial tables, like talking about bringing more people in that are recovering sobriety and all that. Yeah. So reach out to us. If you have somebody that's struggling, that is no longer struggling, anybody, you hit us up and let us know, because we want to be able to open up and normalize the idea that sobriety is there and it's a possibility. Right, Gene?
Indeed.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all. Well, thank you so much, Red. Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you,
a wonderful
man. Thank you,
guest.
man.
It is
You
so
guys.
good to see you, man. Brady.
Thank you, Brady.
Thank you so much for being here, bro. And all y'all at home, thank you so much for watching. As always, I'm your boy, Jay.
I'm Gene.
And y'all are leveling up with Gene and Jay. We'll be seeing y'all soon.
Amen.
Deuces.
Sabi wrap it up. Sabi wrap it up.